preceding edition of Channel 7 Eyewitness News was recorded for rebroadcast at this time.
Diamonds, the gifts she really wants. The Jewelry Factory has thousands of diamonds, most with GIA or EGL certs, laser inscribed and guaranteed the lowest price. The Jewelry Factory has thousands of mountings, and your diamond is set while you wait. 1-carat solitaires are $5.99. Marquise solitaires are $3.99, and 1-carat studs are $3.99. The Jewelry Factory carries most shapes and sizes, including 5 carats and above. You can't beat our deals. Buy Factory Direct and Save, the Jewelry Factory in Hackensack.
Ooh, Philadelphia. So rich, so creamy, so luscious. It makes an ordinary bagel divine. And it's 25% less saturated fat than butter. When it's Philly, it's heaven. And for a deliciously smooth spread, try Philadelphia Whipped. A tasty spin on the Philly you love.
Watch Sade Batterinois only on Eyewitness News.
Next on Channel 7. Join us for the latest national and international news on World News Now, which is already in progress.
You to keep your scooter or power chair at no cost. That's the Scooter Store guarantee.
I expected they'd help me file some paperwork with Medicare and my insurance. I never expected them to be so nice or to work so hard to get me a power chair at no cost to me.
You don't qualify for Medicare? No problem. We'll work with your insurance company, even help with financing. If there's a way, we'll find it.
Call the Scooter Store for free information today.
Call 1-800-872-3900 for free information. That number again is 1-800-872-3900.
Halle Berry took her divorce public in graphic detail. And tonight, Halle's ex, Eric Benet, answers her stunning accusations. Does he think he's a sex addict?
She says, woman after woman after woman.
Eric Benet, a primetime exclusive tonight.
This is the best day ever.
This Sunday.
Get off the brother now!
The producers of Smallville.
Did anybody have sex, skip school, or take drugs?
No!
Carry on.
Take you inside.
What are you looking at, freak?
An average American family.
The difference between us and the Osbournes is they get paid.
That's anything but ordinary.
It's positive.
I'm so gonna be on Oprah.
Spend your nights with The Days. Premiering Sunday at 10/9 Central following an all-new Extreme Makeover Home Edition on ABC.
World News Now Sports, brought to you by Scooter Store.
This is precisely the reason we were in Washington for a week. They were remodeling our control room here in TV3, and in the coming days, we hope to show you more. It's really a spectacular sight. And the crew's not that bad either. 3 NFL players having been fined for testing positive now for using the steroid THG. Dana Stubblefield, a free agent who was with the Oakland Raiders last season, and 2 of his former teammates, Chris Cooper and Barrett Robbins, will not be paid for 3 games next season. They will be suspended for 8 games if they test positive again for any steroids. Other sports headlines, Shaquille O'Neal, as you may know, is a Los Angeles Laker no more. In an exclusive interview with ESPN's Colleen Dominguez, he talks about what caused him to leave the land of the stars for the Heat of Miami.
Phil Jackson fired as Laker coach. I'm like, no, that ain't true. So then when I called in the office, they said, yeah, it's true. So I'm like, okay, so I'm just sitting back because I don't know what I'm going to do. And then the next day, we'll never trade Kobe with Shaq. We'll talk about that. All right, you talk about it. So the next day I said, hey, any general manager that wants a good team player, hard-nosed worker, guy that does all the right things in the community, on and off the court, call Mitch. He'll entertain your office. And that's all I said. And then I distanced myself. Nobody called me. Nobody talked to me. Nothing. I never called talking about no money. Sounds funny to me. Shaq asking about money. Ha!
Jerry Buss said you weren't content with being the highest paid player in the NBA.
I wasn't content. It's not that I wasn't content, it's just that I'm not going to let anybody insult my intelligence. Just because one guy drops, you can't say, hey, we want to give you 1.2 cents more than he did and make you the highest paid. Just think about it. If you got $25 and you're good, and I'm who I am, and you offer me $26, yes, I'm gonna still be the highest paid, but a BMW is different from a Mercedes. We all know that. And I'm the Benz that's sitting on 24s, the chrome spinning. That's me. I'm not a BMW on 20s. I'm that big Benz, that S55 faster than the V12, black on black. That says BIG on the plates. That's me. The Benz on the highway. I-95 going to Miami, chilling. That's me. I'm a Benz. I'm not a Beamer. I'm not a Volkswagen. I'm not a truck. I'm the Benz.
When you weren't in games with the Lakers were a 500 team at best. When Kobe wasn't in a game, you still won 4 times as many games as you lost. What does that say to you?
Shouldn't have to say anything to me. You said it.
Oof, some powerful words there.
Angry man.
So they don't know where Kobe Bryant's going to go, if he's going to go any place at all, but he's definitely not going to the Miami Heat.
He could end up on the Clippers.
Yeah.
He used to be one of my favorite teams,
Yeah.
me and about 14 other people.
We'll see, but the rivalry certainly continues, right?
Yeah.
That's sports for this half hour.
ABC's World News Now will continue after this from our ABC stations.
Hi, I'm Lindsay Wagner, and I'm 35. Well, my sleep number's a 35. Do you know your sleep number? Because if not, you're missing out on a great night's sleep. I used to think it was normal to toss and turn and wake up during the night, but then I discovered the Sleep Number bed by Select Comfort. You can actually adjust the firmness to your exact preference, your sleep number. The adjustable air chamber technology contours to the unique curves of your body, and best of all, the firmness adjusts independently on each side of the bed, making it great for couples. The Sleep Number bed is clinically proven to improve sleep quality and relieve back pain. The results are remarkable, and it's very comfortable. So, if you want better sleep, call right now for this free video and brochure. You'll be glad you did.
Start sleeping better now. Call 1-800-951-9200 for your free video and brochure. Ask about our risk-free in-home trial. That's 1-800-951-9200. Call now.
Regular World News Now viewers know Gizmo guy Dick DeBartolo. He's the one who combs the earth to bring us the latest and greatest gadgets. This morning, Dick's quest takes him to the hottest spot on the high seas.
Hey, you know, ever since I did that boating piece in Miami and said I had a boat, about once a week someone emails me saying, Dick, you showed us your home office. How about showing us your boat? Well, this is it. I sleep about 2,600 of my friends. My crew is about 1,300 people. Well, in case you haven't guessed by now, we're on the Queen Mary 2, the biggest ship in the world. This is the longest ship, the widest ship, the highest ship, 14 passenger decks. Something great about the ship, there's a lot of information technology to make it easier for the passenger. And that's what we're going to do. We're going to go inside, look around a bit, and then we're going to show you some of the neat things on the QM2. When you enter the ship, you'll be in the grand lobby, and this lobby is grand. It's 5 decks high, something I have never seen on a ship before. Some of the cabins, the inside cabins actually open onto the atrium. That is a great use of space. Up here we have some fine shops. We even have a Harrods aboard. You want to know something? This is the only ship with its own planetarium called Illuminations. There's just so much to do. So let's keep looking around. You know, they say when you listen to a seashell, you can hear the ocean. Well, I hear some kind of water. Actually, the water is this great waterfall at Kenyon Ranch Spa Club. Now, this is the only Kenyon Ranch Spa Club on a ship, and all the way across, not only do you pamper yourself in your cabin, you can get massage, take a whirlpool bath, get a facial. What I'm going to do is I'm going to start doing a little jogging regimen, like that's plenty of jogging, and now I've earned myself a massage. I'm going to show you where I'm staying. It's called the Balmoral Suite. Wait a minute, come on in, because this is a friend of mine. This is Bernie. Bernie, how do you pronounce your real first name?
Berenice.
Berenice, but we call her Bernie, and she's with IT at Cunard, which is information technology, and Cunard has made this ship incredibly easy for the passengers. They've sort of eliminated standing on line.
Absolutely.
And how have they done that?
Well, we have our amazing Queen Mary 2 TV. All our technology, all our information is right here.
What can we do on this?
Well, you can see what you're eating tonight, Dick.
Oh, okay, you bring up the rest of the menus.
Let's have a look, see what you're eating.
Okay.
Tonight, you're eating in the Queen's Grill. And you can see, there you are, your appetizer, your soup. You can see, if you didn't want to eat in your restaurant tonight, you can go for alternative dining, like Todd English or Chef Scally, where we have celebrity chefs come on and create a specialized menu for you.
And every passenger on every crossing has their own email address.
Absolutely.
So is it like the GizWiz at queenmary2.com, something like that?
Absolutely.
Oh, it is?
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
okay,
yeah.
okay. Don't email me there because I'll only be on the ship for 6 days. Okay. Are there video games for kids?
But we do have a video arcade on board
On
too.
board also.
Yes, to keep the children confined to an area. So.
Okay, now we know that you can make a crossing for about $1,300 on QM2. What does this suite go for?
This is about $27,000
And it's
for a crossing.
For a crossing. It's 2 stories, and this is a gorgeous deck out here.
Yep, this is your own personal deck, Dick, just for you.
The people who rent this suite can only access this.
Yep, this is all for you. So you get a great shot of the after the ship.
This is amazing. Look at this. You can have card games out here. You have your own lounge chairs. Now, when it's $27,000, is that for the suite or per person, or how does that work?
Per person.
So we'll each put up $27,000.
Absolutely.
Okay, and we'll do it. This is really great. We're going to look around some more, but meanwhile, just pan out there and see the view from this suite. This suite is sweet. I was just peeking on the people who have the lesser cabins. You know what? If you have one of these 2-story suites, it has its own exercise area. But you know, if you have a suite like this, you hire someone to do your exercise. Now, this is neat. We're on the 2nd floor now, and this is the master bedroom. And inside the bedroom, there is a complete movie system with surround sound. There's even an Xbox. There's speakers throughout your bedroom. This is really beautiful. Now, this is high tech. So if you want to stay connected on the Queen Mary 2, well, you go to Connections. You can bring your own computer, pay a fee. They'll set it up for Wi-Fi, or use one of these workstations. You actually are using satellite to surf the web. It's about 50 cents a minute, and it's all built to your smart card. That's a smart card, and there's no cash on the ship. Drinks, everything's downloaded to the smart card, even your passport. And this is how they keep track of when you leave the ship and come back to the ship. It's really technology used to the ultimate. So right now I'm just going to send an email to Mom. Dear Mom, I'm on the QM2. Please send me a credit card number because I have nothing to cover the expenses on my smart card. Thank you, Dick, a.k.a. the GizWiz. Hey, you know, they just announced all ashore who's not sailing, but I'm going to go out to my cabin. Well, it's not really a cabin. It's more like that lifeboat up there. I'm going to stow away, so I think my email address is going to be the GizWiz at Queen Mary Lifeboat 7K, and probably about 2 hours outside of port, it'll be the GizWiz, care of Queen Mary the Brig.com. Hey, this was great fun. Hope you enjoyed it. Ahoy, mateys.
That was our gizmo guy, Dick DeBartolo.
And we haven't seen him since. $27,000 per person. We need like a longtime ABC News correspondent to take us all on board.
For a day, right?
We'll be back.
Visa asks, if the athletes wouldn't come to the Athens 2004 Olympic Games unprepared, why would you? Visa, the only card accepted at this summer's Olympic Games.
Start the day with a splash. Bring on the blue. Moving to the horizon. Splash. Bring on the blue. Now you're flying again.
That aqua velva face, so firm, so fit. That manly scent.
Bring on the blue. Comes that cool blast you're feeling. Splash. Bring on that blue. As she touches your skin.
It just feels better with an aqua velva man.
Tonight, watch as one man risks almost everything for a chance to sell his big idea on the Home Shopping Network. Now, Primetime may give your big idea the same chance. Watch tonight to find out how. Plus, Ronald Reagan's daughter, Patty Davis, on Primetime.
The only thing they had in common,
Don't worry, it's normal,
was the destination. Now the only thing that can save them
I'm having contractions.
face each other.
We may be here for a while.
Do you think he's gonna live? He was sitting next to me.
Tell him that I cracked the thing. Go on, come on, bring it!
Come here, feel this. I just felt it.
Lost premieres Wednesday, September 22nd, only on ABC.
World News Now Sports, brought to you by Aqua Velva.
Well, the Angels are now just a game and a half behind Oakland in the AL West. Let's take a look at last night's game. They were at home against Baltimore. Vladimir Guerrero smacked a home run in the 6th, which made up for the Orioles' one-run lead. It was Guerrero's 25th. In the 7th, here it is, Garrett Anderson punched a grounder past short after the bases had been loaded by a double, an error, and a walk. 2 runs came in, the Angels winning that one 4-2. At the Olympics 4 years ago, American wrestler Roland Gardner won gold. He beat the supposedly unbeatable Russian Alexander Karelin. Since then, Gardner has managed, though, to lose one of his toes when a snowmobile mishap left him stranded in the wilderness. It was one of a series of calamities that he discussed with ESPN's Jay Harris.
Why is qualifying for this year's games more of a miracle than winning gold in 2000?
Well, for me, I think coming back from the frostbite accident and then also coming back, we had the week before Nationals this year doing a front dive roll over a car when a lady pulled out in front of me and my Harley, doing that dive roll and then popping up, and then 2 days later dislocating my wrist playing basketball, and then wrestling at Nationals, and then having pins placed in it, and then coming back and getting the pins taken out and winning the trials. I think was kind of a miracle for me as an individual just to make it back on the team compared to beating Carell.
Roland, I know you're adventurous, but you're a world-class athlete, man. Why are you so accident-prone?
You know, I grew up, I was born and raised always accident-prone. Things always happened to me that was weird, and I'm used to it, and I think that's the way life is. And I think as I get older in my old age, I need to kind of step back a little bit and relax and not push the envelope as much.
Hey, as a kid, other kids would call you Fatso. If one of those kids now, obviously an adult, would come up and call you Fatso now, what would you do?
I'd say we could go discuss this on the wrestling mat if you'd like.
I think you'd win that discussion, too.
If not, I'm going to give it a heck of a run, and hopefully the match lasts for 2 hours long and he won't be able to walk off the mat.
All right, let's talk wrestling. Which is the bigger upset, the U.S. hockey team beating the Soviet Union in 1980, or you beating the Russian Bear in 2000?
There's no question. It's the hockey team. I remember I was 9 years old watching them go out there because Russia was, you know, the unbeatable force. And so for us as Americans, I don't think there's any question of who the bigger feat was.
Does it make you angry that wrestlers can't parlay their skill into millions of dollars like boxers can once they leave the Olympics?
I think it is, you know, frustrating for a wrestler to have really no future. But you know what? We're not in it for the money. We're not in it for the glory. We're in it for our country and ourselves and our family.
I'm going to put you on the spot. Will you win gold in Athens?
Yes.
We'll see.
Yeah, I recommend he not do a whole lot of anything until he hits the mat.
Yeah.
Stay at home, stay safe. I mean, he is accident prone, so he has to be careful.
Can you believe this time last year the entire city was plunged into a blackout?
It's true.
And, you know, it's amazing. On this show, I think they actually had to do it almost in the dark, but they made it through. And when we get back, we're going to see some gadgets in case that happens again.
ABC's World News Now will continue after this from our ABC stations.
Hi, I'm Joe Morgan. A few months ago, I told you about Little League Baseball's Urban Initiative program. I spoke of how this initiative would transform empty lots into fields of dreams, where children in disadvantaged areas would be able to experience the joy of playing baseball. Well, here's one of our dreams come true. I'm proud to be one of the spokesmen for Little League Baseball's Urban Initiative. We built it, and we'll build a whole lot more.
When did you find time to go shopping for new carpet?
I didn't have to. I called At Home Carpet for a free in-home design consultation. They brought samples from major manufacturers, and we were able to match the carpet perfectly to our wall color, draperies, furniture, all under our actual lighting. And At Home Carpet has the guaranteed lowest prices. They have 48-hour installation of in-stock carpet.
Get 3 rooms of carpet for only $549. Call today, 888-369-RUGS.
Just about a year ago, the lights went out here in the East in a massive blackout. That's when most of us realized we didn't even have batteries in our flashlights. hopefully, you've checked your batteries recently, but you might want more than just a flashlight for that next emergency. And here this morning with some gadgets for exactly those moments is our GizWiz, Dick DeBartolo. Good to see you as always.
That's the thing.
What do you got?
I have some neat stuff. Well, first of all, if the power goes out and you have an electric stove, how do you cook? Okay, this is neat. This is from Marine Cuisine, and it's called the Flameless Heating Kit. It's also good for camping trips. What you do is you take a heating pad, you drop it in the oven, you put a salt tablet in some water, pour it into the oven, like that. I'm going to make you turkey tetrazzini.
Oh,
this is
fabulous.
freeze-dried food, so we're going to add some water to that, and then you stir it up. All I have here is a pen. Remember, only a red pen for stirring food. And then basically, we just seal this, and then we're going to put it in our flameless oven. And food is about $6. They have a wide variety of it. We're going to put it in the flameless oven, and then we're going to lock this tight. And then we're going to come back in a couple of minutes and check it out.
Because of course the question people are going to have is, how does that taste?
You know what? It's not bad. To tell you the truth, I'm sort of a hands-on guy. I made myself scrambled eggs. I made myself chicken cutlets, and I forgot the third thing. They taste pretty good.
Not bad.
So I'm going to put that out of the way. Now this is really
Let's move
neat.
on to the, it's called the Power Pack.
This is the Power Pack, and this is from, let's see, the company is Xantrex. And this is the Power Pack. Now this you leave plugged in all the time. When the power goes out, you'll see there's a little button here, and that shows us that it's fully powered. Now you have an AC outlet.
Okay.
You can plug in a lamp or a small appliance up to 150 watts. If you have 12-volt gadgets, they go in here. I'm going to turn it this way because we have a flashlight.
Not bad.
And we have jumper cables. So you can keep this in your car.
I was about to say, that's a good thing to have in the trunk.
Exactly. And this is the smallest one they make. It's about $80. But they make them big enough that they're like on a wheel-along cart so that you can power things over 1,000 watts.
Well, I was going to ask you because the blackout last summer was in August. There were a lot of hot people.
Well, you're not going to plug an air conditioner in, but you certainly could run a fan.
A fan, that would be great.
Okay. That's Xantrex Power Pack. Now this guy is neat. I'm just going to turn my page over here.
Little cheat sheets over here.
Yes, exactly.
You can see that it's a clock.
And it's a radio. Now what you do is you keep that plugged in, so you see the clock, and it's called the Eton Blackout Buddy. Now what I'm going to do, we have it plugged in here, so we're making believe this is the outlet. So we pull it out from the outlet, and the light automatically came on. Now you can click it so the radio comes on too. We're way in the building here, so there's no reception. Then this folds down, and you carry it with you. So you have an emergency
flashlight. You get all the emergency information.
And the little radio, and it goes for about 5 hours. When the emergency's over, plug it back in, use it as a night light, and my food is starting to, isn't this amazing?
That looks great.
Here we go, I'll just show you that. It's
Unless
steaming.
it explodes.
It's steaming, no it won't. It'll take about 15 minutes, but just to show you. And also, just touch the outside of that.
Yeah, it's sort of like the military concept, the MREs.
Exactly.
All right, we'll keep going and check that out.
Okay, we will. Okay, this is from Grundig, and this is another neat guy for an emergency. We took the batteries out of the back, but this little green guy is a rechargeable battery pack, and without the batteries in there, you recharge it by cranking the handle. Now, there's a little red light on the top. Anytime that red light is on, power is going into those little batteries, and I'm just going to click it down here, and we have a little flashlight. Can you see that?
So if you had, and it's on, so unlike the other one, you could keep that one on indefinitely.
Indefinitely, and if the batteries go bad, it doesn't matter because you can crank, okay? And that's from Grundig. And 90 seconds of cranking gives you about 15 minutes of flashlight.
And I should have been asking you this the whole way along, but how much money are people looking at investing?
Okay, we're talking about $80 for this, for the Xantrex. The Blackout Buddy is only $30, and that's at Radio Shack. The wind-up radio from Grundig, $40.
Okay.
Very reasonable. Now, if you're using your computer and there's a blackout, well, that's bad because any work you haven't saved is gone.
The great American novel is gone.
Yes, exactly. So your computer should always be plugged into a UPS, which is uninterruptible power supply. Now, what we're going to do here is this unit is plugged into this. So I'm going to, and you can watch that little light here. I'm unplugging this unit, and the light stayed on.
I can hear it buzzing.
Right. So it automatically, instantly switched over to the internal battery. And this particular one comes with software, and it's telling us that the power is off, but it is running your computer. And the software will let you save your work automatically if you're not around.
Okay.
Okay? And this is we're going to push on the top.
And it's small. You can sort of stick it under a desk somewhere.
Exactly. And it has 6 outlets on the top. 4 of them protected with the battery, 2 surge protection.
And you've got?
A walkie-talkie. What's neat about this from Cobra is that it has what's called Hazard Alert, which is hooked up to NOAA, which is the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration. If there is an impending storm, earthquake, tidal wave, chemical spill, they will send an alert to this unit.
And it'll go off and let you know,
It'll go
get
off
ready.
and let you know. Exactly.
Pull out all this stuff.
Yes, exactly. Get your stuff out. And that's about $80 a unit. That's from Cobra. Okay. And our final little guy, we talked about flashlight. Well, this is a flashlight that you power by doing that, and then...
You know, all you got to do is give that to a toddler. It will always be ready.
That's a great idea, and that's about $12. And if you missed anything, you can go to my website, which is?
GizWizBiz.com, which is a wonderful site. We have just a few seconds left, and I just want to...
Oh, yeah, go back to here, and the show, I'm not going to open it now because, well,
right.
it's still cooked. I will.
Well, we want to thank Dick DeBartolo for joining us. He and I are going to have a little turkey picking zucchini,
Absolutely.
And you're watching World News Now.
He overcame adversity and achieved an unparalleled career spanning 4 decades. Rejoice in the powerful sounds of a musical legend, the Ray Charles Anthology.
Georgia, Georgia, the whole day through.
The Ray Charles Anthology features 20 masterpieces on one award-winning CD.
Keeps Georgia on my...
Spoke at a fundraiser here in New York City. What's the deal now?
Slim Fast, for whom she was a spokeswoman, and it kicked off a campaign recently, told her, go away. You know, we were insulted about what you said or said suggestively about the president, so she's off as their spokeswoman, but I'm wondering if she's still getting paid. I imagine she still is.
Yeah,
so.
and I imagine she's still going to be talking.
Whoopi Goldberg, yeah you're not going to muzzle her.
I think she's got something to say about that. We had a lot of fun a few weeks back with the cars at the G8 Summit. These were the golf carts that they had custom rigged for each of the countries.
The flags.
Let's go to the videotape. Apparently what they've done now is they've put these cars up on eBay, and here are the details. The electric vehicles, they were wheeled around Sea Island by President Bush, other world leaders. They've now been put on eBay. They souped up the carts, a discount price of $9,100 each. They've been decorated in colors symbolizing the flags of the various countries, and so they're on eBay if you'd like them. And since you had trouble getting your flight yesterday, it's all you.
For 10,000, maybe 20,000 bucks, I can just hop on the I-95 and ride down.
Might be an easy way to get around. You're watching ABC. More news coming up.
For the latest video highlights, log on to America Online, keyword ABC News, or go to abcnews.com.
I'm giving away millions more of my computer learning lessons, and I'm happy to do so. Hi, I'm John Scheer, CEO and founder of Video Professor. You know, over the last few months, my free computer learning offer has been more popular than ever. I'm shipping out thousands of my lessons every day to computer users across America who are tired of being held back by their lack of computer skills. So isn't it time for you to join the millions of satisfied customers who have learned to run a computer using Video Professor products? Remember, it's a complete lesson of your choice, and it's absolutely free. You can choose from Windows, Word, Excel, Quicken, and many more. The only thing easier than ordering my free lesson is learning with them. This proven what you see is what you do learning method, written in plain English, is fun to follow along with, and it's easy to use. Use the play, pause, and rewind buttons to follow the easy step-by-step instructions. I guarantee you'll be up and running in less than an hour. Call now and I'll send you any one of my products absolutely free. You just pay a small shipping and processing charge, And I'll even refund that if you're not completely satisfied with my product. You know, I have people stop me all the time to tell me how much they like learning with Video Professor, how surprised they were with the amount of information they learned from just one CD, and how much it has improved their lives. That's why I can make this incredible free offer, because I know that once you try my product, you will come back to us for all your computer learning needs. So what are you waiting for? Pick up the phone and call. Order your free CD today. I'll ship this to you within a week. So what do you got to lose? Try my product.
Call Video Professor now for your free lesson. Choose from Windows, Word, Quicken, the Internet, and many more. Call now and this free gift will be yours. The Anytime Organizer is the calendar, diary, address book, and journal on your PC, so you'll never miss an appointment again. Remember, you must call now to get your free CD and the extra free gift.
To get your free computer learning CD, you must call now. Call 1-800-209-0303.
Watch Diana Williams and Sade Badrinois only on Eyewitness News.
It is Thursday morning, a double dose of wild weather. Hard-hit areas of Pennsylvania and New Jersey are slammed again.
From ABC News World Headquarters in New York, this is World News Now.
A line of powerful storms caused injuries, evacuations, and heavy damage. Hello from New York, everyone. I'm David Muir.
And good morning. I'm Ron Claiborne in for Tamala Edwards. Also ahead this half hour, the first daughters take a public turn. You'll be seeing more of the Bush twins as Election Day closes in. And how does he do it? $1 million later, Ken Jennings lets us in on a few of his Jeopardy secrets. But we begin with the severe weather.
And Ron, forecasters are warning more storms could be on the way. In southern Pennsylvania, the small community of Campbelltown has been turned upside down by the fierce winds, including a possible tornado there. And in southern New Jersey, ABC's Nancy Weiner says the story is water and more water.
In southern New Jersey, they're working to recover from historic flooding, but they're also keeping a close eye on yet another line of thunderstorms, a cause for concern in a region where the ground is already saturated.
We fully expect more rainfall, the potential jeopardy of existing dams that are in dire conditions.
In neighboring Pennsylvania, storms packing fierce winds flattened or damaged scores of houses in the community of Campbelltown. 12 people had to be sent to the hospital.
It's a horrendous, it's a disaster area down there pretty much. There's trees down, houses are leveled to the ground, everything. It's really bad.
The bad weather led to cancellations and massive delays at airports from Washington, D.C. to Boston, causing a ripple effect across the country. It's all part of a powerful mid-Atlantic weather system that dumped 13 inches of rain on parts of southern New Jersey Monday in the space of just 12 hours.
17 years and put all my eggs in one basket and basket drowned.
Monday's deluge washed out bridges and roads and left scores more unstable. Water poured into homes so quickly, residents had only a few minutes to evacuate.
Could see it coming in, and all of a sudden the basement windows blew in and the water just came gushing into the basement. Just a heavy torrent right in through the windows.
Jim Gallagher is trying to figure out his next move. Like many people in this area, he did not have flood insurance.
We weren't on the floodplain. There hadn't been a flood here in over 100 years.
Some New Jersey residents still aren't being allowed back into their flooded homes. Local officials warn the standing water could be contaminated. Nancy Weiner, ABC News, Medford Lakes, New Jersey.
Now to Iraq, where the new interim government is dealing with the worst violence since taking over late last month. Gunmen shot and killed a provincial governor in northern Iraq yesterday. The assassinated leader's province includes the city of Mosul. Hours before that insurgent attack, a suicide bomber in Baghdad set off 1,000 pounds of explosives packed in a car. At least 10 people were killed near the new government's headquarters.
Well, back in Washington, a constitutional amendment to ban same-sex marriage is dead on Capitol Hill this election year, but the issue itself is not. The Senate blocked the measure as expected yesterday. President Bush said he was deeply disappointed. Senators Kerry and Edwards opposed the amendment. Democrats accused Republicans of pushing it to the forefront as an election year ploy. Former Chicago Bears coach Mike Ditka won't run for Senate. His announcement sets Illinois Republicans back in their race to find a new candidate just 4 months before the election. The GOP's primary winner, Jack Ryan, dropped out amid a sex scandal leaked from his divorce papers.
President Bush is getting some new support on the campaign trail His twin daughters, Jenna and Barbara, are joining him. For the past 4 years, the recent college graduates have tried and sometimes failed to stay out of the spotlight. But ABC's John Cochran reports that's changed.
This is my daughter, Barbara. Hi.
So far, the Bush twins have entered the campaign trail very carefully. Their father still does the talking.
Traveling with me today is a new graduate from the University of Texas, one of my great daughters, Jenna Bush. Traveling with me, I'm really proud to introduce Barbara Bush.
Aides say the young women will speak at rallies as soon as they gain more confidence. The campaign believes they will appeal to women and younger voters and remind voters of another side to George Bush.
I think it's maybe a visual cue that above anything else, the president is the dad who understands very much what's on the minds of other moms and dads.
The Bush camp took notice of last week's photogenic pairing of the Kerry and Edwards families. Bush aides were eager to counter with the president's daughters, whose own good looks are on display in the new Vogue magazine. But no one forced the twins to campaign. They told the magazine they wanted to help.
It was entirely their decision. Jenna told me that her parents were shocked when she told them that she and Barbara wanted to go on the campaign trail.
Quite a change from 4 years ago when Mr. Bush campaigned without them. Because of that, the country knows little about them, except for stories early in the Bush presidency that they were spoiled and out of control, convicted of underage drinking.
President Bush spent the weekend with his daughters, Jenna and Barbara, or as they're better known, J and B.
But they are college graduates now and more mature. Barbara plans to work with AIDS children overseas. Jenna wants to teach black and Hispanic kids in Harlem. She and her mother read to children in Alabama.
Back and forth until we're through. You read to me, I read to you.
Mrs. Bush recently told Terry Moran the twins still value privacy.
I've asked the press in the nice bipartisan fashion to give Barbara and Jenna privacy like they did to the Clinton's daughter, Chelsea.
But by volunteering to campaign, the president's daughters know they will be under the media's spotlight, and that can be risky and unpleasant. John Cochran, ABC News, Washington.
We first showed you the photos from Vogue magazine yesterday. Pretty impressive. They obviously clean up beautifully.
Yeah, absolutely.
Ron Claiborne is with us here this morning, and Ron is ABC's correspondent based in Boston, and actually the two of us worked in the Boston area together for a few years.
That's right, and all of my friends up there told me to tell you to come back, and I told them, he's not
for a while.
Yeah. They haven't won a World Series since you left.
That's when I'll be back.
And about 80 years before.
Yeah, I'm going to eat my words. Let's check the forecast now. Good to have you here with us. Showers from Pennsylvania to New England, strong thunderstorms with golf ball-sized hail in the Gulf states. The Northeast remains cooler, slightly above normal temperatures in the Northwest. Now some forecasts from around the country and a visit with some of the younger and cuter inhabitants of the San Diego Zoo.
Welcome back. Your dreams were your ticket out. Welcome back to that same old place that you laughed about.
World News Now weather brought to you by Detrol.
Since you hung around, but those dreams have remained and they've turned around.
Gotta go right now. Gotta go.
Got those strong, sudden urges to go and go? Forced to get up 2 or more times a night? Well, then you may be one of 17 million people with what's called overactive bladder, and you should know it's treatable. So you should go to your phone to learn what you can do about it. Call 1-866-619-3300. Then we'll send you free, confidential information. You'll learn about overactive bladder, like what causes those strong, sudden urges, and why it's not normal at any age. You'll get tips to help you go less often, and find out about a proven treatment option. Plus, get questions you really should ask your doctor.
Last night, with a minute and change to go, Nick Van Exel was fouled going for the basket. The putback didn't count, but Van Exel hit 2 free throws that tied the game. Then, with time evaporating, Van Exel passed to Jason Richardson for the open 3. Richardson hit with 0.2 of a second to go. The Warriors won 98-95. The Heisman Trophy will be awarded on Saturday. That's the Academy Award of college football. The odds are against Pittsburgh receiver Larry Fitzgerald because he doesn't play for a #1 team and no sophomore has ever won. Also, he is he's only a receiver. He's not a kick returner too. But ESPN's Mike Greenberg has 8 reasons why Fitzgerald should win.
Number 8, 14 career 100-yard receiving games. Is there anything more to say?
Larry Fitzgerald tries a range under it, and what a catch! Nobody knows where the ball is in the air better than Larry Fitzgerald.
Nothing lucky behind number 7. Fitzgerald set Big East records for touchdown receptions this season with 22. By the way, 34 career touchdowns makes for a nice resume.
And we've got a touchdown, Pittsburgh! Larry Fitzgerald played takeaway again!
Number 6, try this on for size. Fitzgerald, a Moss-like 1,595 receiving yards and 87 grabs on the season, both Big East records. Fitzgerald, unstoppable at number 5, an 8-catch performance for a career-best 207 and a win against Rutgers, all coming in the first half, and he had 2 touchdowns as well. Number 4, just watch this.
Oh my, what a catch by Fitzgerald! Oh, mercy, he's done it again! The man is remarkable.
That unbelievable catch, one of 3 touchdowns in a 37-26 win over Texas A&M. And yet another game when he was in triple digits in yards. The trick play against BC brings us to number 3.
Pitch to Juwan Walker. I think he wants to throw this one. He does. Option pass from Juwan Walker to Larry Fitzgerald for the touchdown.
A halfback option pass from Juwan Walker gave Fitzgerald the NCAA record for consecutive games with a touchdown reception at 14. We'll get back to that. Number 2, some receivers would consider a 130-yard day a career game. Fitzgerald averaged just over that per game. That despite the fact Pitt finished 98th in the country in rushing, which meant Larry saw double teams all season long. And at number 1 added to his NCAA record for consecutive games with a touchdown catch in his 18th straight in his final regular season game.
Yeah, he's pretty impressive on the field, and some of the numbers are incredible. He's got a 39-inch vertical jump.
Amazing.
And he makes it look so easy. That's sports for this half hour.
When we come back, a closer look at the Democrats' debate.
I've only been here once in 2003.
ABC's World News Now will continue after this from our ABC stations.
Do you have a great idea for a new product? Every year, literally billions of dollars are spent on products new to the market, and this could be your year. Advent Product Development can help. Advent Product Development specializes in marketing new ideas and inventions, and we're interested in talking to you. If your idea qualifies, we can patent or trademark it for you and take it to market. Or we can create a TV infomercial and sell your product directly to the public.
Don't let your idea slip away. Call 800-9-INVENT now for your free inventor's kit. Call now.
After further review, the Millers were first to the red strata.
Yes! Look, there's another one.
During the Dodge year-end sales drive, grab our best deals like 0% financing for 60 months or up to $4,000 in cash allowances. All with Dodge's 7-year or 70,000-mile powertrain limited warranty.
We'll take it. Hurry to your Dodge dealer and see how good the best values in America can be.
Join me in supporting the Toys for Tots program. You can help make this a golden year for a needy child in your community by donating a new toy to the Marine Corps Reserve Unit nearest you. They'll see that your toy fulfills the holiday dreams of a child who otherwise might be forgotten.
You've never seen anything like this. A man videotapes his own suicide. Then, the tape reveals he's a deadly serial stalker. His prey, a pop superstar. His weapon, a homemade bomb he mailed before killing himself. Now, crime writer Patricia Cornwell uncovers the frantic race to stop the bomb. A Diane Sawyer primetime event Thursday.
Here's a look at some of the stories we'll be following in the day ahead. The talk at last night's Democratic debate in New Hampshire continued to be the surprise endorsement of Howard Dean by former Vice President Al Gore, with the other 8 hopefuls insisting the race for the nomination is far from over. Lawyers for the men charged in the Rhode Island nightclub fire contend their clients are not criminals and should not be prosecuted. 100 people died following that fire last February. And a Los Angeles Police Department investigation from February raises new questions about allegations against entertainer Michael Jackson. That report found past sex abuse allegations against Jackson to be unfounded. And those are some of the stories ABC News is following in the day ahead.
There were 9 Democratic presidential candidates on the stage in New Hampshire last night, but the current frontrunner and his newest and most important supporter, of course, drew the most attention. And for some insight this morning on last night's debate, ABC News political director Mark Halperin joins us. And Mark, as always, good to have you here with us this morning.
David, thank you. I can't promise any insight, though.
Well, I'm sure you'll offer more than we can. Howard Dean, we know, has a big lead in New Hampshire, and the other candidates seem to try to address the New Hampshire voters a lot during the debate. They don't seem resigned to this lead.
No, obviously there's no giving up in these candidates now, although they're very far behind Howard Dean in New Hampshire, and although he's been doing so well nationally in raising money, and of course the big Gore endorsement yesterday preceding the debate, these candidates are not prepared to give up. And last night, one of the big messages from the candidates was that they're going to fight this through. They want to let the voters decide.
I think I speak for every candidate up here. This race is not over until votes have been cast and counted.
Well, I have this kind of curious notion that I think actually most voters in America make their own decision about who they believe should be the President of the United States. I don't think you can tell them what to do. We're not going to have a coronation.
Because it's a very important election coming up, and it's not going to be decided by endorsements.
So all these candidates are saying the same thing. It's not going to be a coronation, no endorsements, this isn't over. Now, of course, the fact that they have to say that, the fact that they have to protest that voters and the media shouldn't jump to any conclusions, does show that they are aware that right now, Howard Dean's in a very strong position.
Mark, we know Al Gore was not in New Hampshire last night, and yet there was significant mention of him during the debate. How significant was the endorsement yesterday? How powerful is that?
David, it's about as powerful as any endorsement gets. I think the press sometimes overrates the importance of endorsements, but this has brought Howard Dean 2 favorable days of news coverage. It's brought him a very enthusiastic event in Iowa, and it will almost certainly bring him more time on the campaign trail with Al Gore and the imprimatur of the man who won the popular vote in the last election. Dean, very, very smartly, some more deft behavior at these debates that he has shown on occasion, when the other candidates went very hard at Al Gore in their critique of the endorsement and what it might mean, and they discounted it. Howard Dean was very deft in saying, leave my friend, my new supporter, Al Gore, alone.
I'm going to give an invitation, which I have not yet given, but I'm going to do it now. If you guys are upset about Al Gore's endorsement, you attack me, don't attack Al Gore.
So Howard Dean is saying basically leave Al Gore out of this, and what he wants is for Al Gore to basically get a free ride from the voters, to have a chance to be able to be an endorser, to lay hands on Howard Dean, but not to be attacked, because of course, even in a Democratic nomination fight, Al Gore does come with some baggage. Al Gore and Howard Dean hope it's simply all sweetness and light, the endorsement as a positive thing.
And with Howard Dean with the lead here, how do the candidates plan to counter this? Did we see any new strategy last night?
It's real hard for them because all of them are still introducing themselves to voters in New Hampshire and elsewhere. All of them still want to create a positive image. But just leaving Howard Dean alone, letting him do what he wants to do in terms of his message with that rebuttal is not going to work. So the most aggressive candidate, the most outspoken in trying to stop Howard Dean was last night and has been Joe Lieberman. He's the most centrist of the Democrats. He's the one who's been the most critical of Howard Dean and the prospect that Howard Dean will bring the party too far to the left if he's the Democratic nominee against George Bush. And last night, he made a very impassioned plea in the wake of being rejected by Al Gore for the endorsement, saying the Democratic Party would be making a big mistake if they turned to Howard Dean.
So I'm ready to fight for the future of this party that I love and fight for the future of this country, because we're only going to defeat George Bush if we have an independent-minded, center-out Democrat.
You're out of time, Senator.
Now that is what a lot of the Democrats are going to argue, that in some ways Howard Dean is too left-wing on some issues, they'd say, particularly foreign policy. But what works to Dean's benefit is while Joe Lieberman is saying he's too liberal for the Democratic Party to turn to as their nominee against George Bush, some of the other Democrats are arguing he's been too conservative in some of his positions and in some of his record. For instance, they're saying he's been too harsh in Medicare and other social services in Vermont when he was governor of Vermont. So Howard Dean has been very deft, was very deft in last night's debate, and has been able to stay ahead of a lot of these criticisms. He did another very smart thing last night. The economy was a topic in the debate, but not a dominant topic. And at one point, he brought up on his own and said, you know, we've spent a lot of time talking about Iraq and other topics here, but not enough about the economy, and that's a big issue here in New Hampshire, and I think he probably scored some points with that on his own.
As we see the crew strike down the set there in New Hampshire behind you.
And hear them.
Yeah, exactly. The latest reports show that New Hampshire voters, about a quarter of them, remain undecided. In your opinion, did last night's debate help?
David, I think it may have led some voters to form at least a smaller set of candidates that they're considering. But I think for a lot of voters, particularly the undecideds, it's going to turn now the holiday season. This debate will get a lot of coverage in the state today and probably tomorrow. But after that, I think it becomes the last major event of 2003. And when we get back from the new year, voters in New Hampshire and in Iowa, I think are going to be looking really closely at these voters, at these candidates, and the undecideds are going to start to fall into line.
Well, with just a few seconds left, we probably should mention that Mr. Kucinich in particular had some fiery comments in questions about the Gore endorsement and whether or not he would be able to stay in the race given his money woes.
It's a real debate, and always in the media coverage and in politics, should these minor candidates, the ones who really aren't given a great chance or any chance of winning the nomination, be allowed to take up in this field a third of the time in these debates? And that deliberation and the talks about that are going to continue as we head into January, where these candidates don't show signs of wanting to get out of the race, even though their chances of winning are pretty slim.
All right, ABC News Political Director Mark Halperin, as always, great to see you, and I'm sure we'll see a lot of you over the next year.
Thank you, David.
All right, Mark Halperin with ABC News, and you're watching World News Now.
Tired of arguing about which way to go? Sick of asking strangers for directions? And fed up with driving around for hours? Oh no, looks like you're lost again. What you need is the Autopilot from AAA, the talking road navigator.
I-15 south.
Autopilot fits in the palm of your hand, gives you precise directions by voice, and is as easy to use as a calculator. Watch, just enter your current location, then put in your destination, and Autopilot accurately tells you the best way to get there.
I-85 north to I-95 north to I-295.
Virtually anywhere in the United States, Autopilot tells you directions, even the miles and minutes your trip will take.
155 miles, 2 hours, 35 minutes.
The Autopilot used global mapping technology to store over 100,000 different routes and replays them customized to your trip.
To U-89 north.
And here's something you won't find on most service station maps. With Autopilot, you can access 80,000 different traveler services while en route. Need the closest 24-hour gas station? Autopilot tells you.
Shell. Exit in 3 miles, 3 minutes.
Have to find a rest area? Autopilot tells you.
Exit in 5 miles, 5 minutes.
Autopilot is perfect for the family vacation, a business trip, or a weekend getaway. Look, you could spend over $1,000 for a navigation system, or you can order the Autopilot for just 2 low payments of $19.95. Call now and we'll include this portable AutoVac. Just plug into your lighter and quickly clean debris from seats or easily get into hard-to-reach places. Yours free. The Autopilot was developed with the most trusted name in travel, AAA. And if you're not satisfied, return it for a full refund of the purchase price. But keep the AutoVac as our gift. You get it all for just 2 low payments of $19.95. Order now.
Order your Autopilot today. Call 1-800-349-9977 or send check or money order for $39.90 plus $7.95 shipping and handling to the address on your screen. Call now.
Following is an urgent message for all inventors. Who cashed in on your last great idea? Do you have another invention? Do you need a patent? Then you need InventTech.
Everyone laughed at my pot that cooked and drained pasta. If I had the patent, I'd be rich.
Snap your fingers, turn on a light. That was my idea, but I never thought to get a patent.
Call InventTech now for a free inventor's kit and get our free video or DVD with your confidential submission. Call 1-800-494-5511.
Chico, don't be discouraged. The man, he ain't so hard to understand.
For many people, one of the toughest parts about being a grown-up is having to go to work every day. Luckily for us, we work in a place where we don't have to act like adults all the time. But for those of you who don't work for World News Now, there's another place where you can get paid for doing kid stuff. However, there is plenty of competition for this job. Tech TV's Paul Chambers has the details.
Almost every kid has played with them, building any and everything that came to mind.
I love Legos. I have to admit it. I've loved playing with Legos since I was a kid. I still play with Legos today.
Good, because all that hard work is finally going to pay off.
Go ahead, good luck, have fun.
Lego is looking for that special someone who will make the perfect fit to their team of builders. They're the ones responsible for creating these masterpieces for the Legoland theme park in California.
We're going across the country to 9 different cities to find the next Legoland Master Model Builder. That is basically somebody who builds models like these ones behind me, and they get paid to play with Lego for a living.
Each contestant is given a bucket of 2,000 Lego blocks, a theme, and less than an hour to come up with something for a tough panel of judges.
I call it the Tri-Lion because it's got 3 legs, tri, and it sort of looks like a lion because I gave it the little fur coat on around the edges. So, and then they gave it the little evil eyes that I found right in there.
Okay, come on, let's be realistic. How hard is it to make a Lego toy? I mean, of course, I can't do something like this in 45 minutes, but give me some time and I guarantee you I'll come up with something. Hang on, one more piece, one more. Aha, I found it. Of course, this is the exact one I needed. Now, come on, what else did you think I was going to make?
We wanted to make it a way that it was fun for people. You know, we didn't want to just come in, sit down, have an interview, and then get a job.
One that will pay adults for playing with toys from their childhood. For Tech TV, I'm Paul Chambers.
Now, if they'll just pay you for playing with a light bright, Legoland has selected 10 Master Builder finalists from the East Coast. The search now moves to the West Coast with stops in Las Vegas, Phoenix, and Los Angeles. Anyone 18 years or older can apply. The newest Lego Master will be announced early next year.
All right, well, you know, my nephew, who's just turned 4 years old, can always buy them Legos. They love Legos. I still love Legos.
You know, we still find Legos hidden in our house at home from when we were kids.
You're watching Real News Now.
For the latest video highlights, log on to America Online, keyword ABC News, or go to abcnews.com.
It's a little something I've done every night since I was a kid. Empty my pocket change into this old jar. It's never much, just what's left after I break $1. And I never thought I could get quality life insurance with my spare change.
Neither did I, until I saw a commercial for the Colonial Penn Insurance Program. Imagine people our age getting life insurance at such an affordable rate.
If you're between 50 and 85, call now for free information on life insurance. This guaranteed acceptance life insurance is easy on your budget and just as easy to get. Now, there's no medical exam to take, no health questions will be asked. You know, for about 25 cents a day, you can have the protection to help cover your final expenses, and you cannot be turned down for any reason. This coverage cannot be canceled as long as you pay your premiums. Your premium will never increase, and your benefit will never decrease due to age. Plus, your coverage builds cash value. That's money you can borrow against. You know, the average cost of a funeral today is over $5,000. And that can be a big burden for anyone to leave for their loved ones. I'm doing this commercial because I believe in the Colonial Penn Insurance Program. It's easy and affordable to get the coverage you need. Call now for free information and a free gift.
All I did was make a phone call, and all of my questions about the Colonial Penn Insurance Program were answered.
It couldn't have been any easier, and we both got the coverage we should have had for years now.
Mm-hmm, with change to spare.
Call toll-free 1-800-242-6897 to receive free information in the mail about this valuable life insurance. Call 1-800-242-6897 or please visit our website at colonialpenn.com. There's no risk or obligation. That number again is 1-800-242-6897. The call is free, and so is this handy guide to Social Security. You can reach us at 1-800-242-6897 or at colonialpenn.com. Call now.
Soap Talks Lisa Rinna on an all-new Wayne Brady Show.
It is Wednesday morning, and more children fall victim to the deadly and spreading flu outbreak.
From ABC News, this is World News Now.
And health officials say the outbreak hasn't peaked yet. Hello from New York, everyone. I'm David Muir.
And good morning. I'm Nancy Weiner, sitting in for Tamala Edwards. Also this half hour, jumping for a healthy future and how puzzled parents can bring smiles on Christmas morning. We begin with the flu.
The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention reports widespread flu outbreaks in 13 states. In Colorado, 3 more children have died from the flu, bringing the total now to 9. Children have also died in California, Arizona, and Texas. Sindra and Steven Salinas from Central Texas lost their 19-month-old son, Nathan.
He laid down to take a nap and woke up from his nap, and he couldn't breathe. And less than 24 hours later, he was gone.
He was going to carry my family name, and I was going to watch him play football. We'll never have that chance.
One small town in southern Idaho has been hit so hard by the flu that schools there have been closed.
With just 6 weeks until the first presidential primaries, the Democratic candidates are narrowing their focus. They're taking aim at the frontrunner and his newest supporter. ABC's Heather Cabot has more.
With New Hampshire voters watching in prime time, the candidates came out swinging, determined to undercut any advantage Howard Dean may have gained from Al Gore's surprise endorsement.
This race is not over until votes have been cast and counted.
We're not going to have any big name come in now and tell us the field should be limited and we can't be heard.
Some turned their attacks on the former vice president, including Senator Joe Lieberman, Gore's running mate in the 2000 race for the White House.
We cared about values. We were interested in cutting taxes for the middle class and working with business to create jobs. Howard Dean, and now Al Gore, I guess, are on the wrong side of each of those issues.
The sniping over endorsements in polls eventually turned to serious difference on American policies in Iraq.
Ted, unless we get the U.S. troops out of there totally, we're never going to see a situation where that war is going to be over. We're going to continue to be attacked.
We deserve leadership that knows how to build real alliances, that respects multilateralism, and that understands that our troops today are at greater risk.
An early exit means either retreat or defeat. Neither one is acceptable, and nobody can provide security for the Iraqi people as they develop their own internal defenses, except for a force under U.S. leadership.
But it was domestic issues, including jobs and health care, that rounded out the candidates' final debate of the year.
This president has lost 3 million jobs. He has given tax cuts to people who make $1 million a year of $112,000. 50% of us got $325. What this election is about is taking back this country for ordinary people.
The chairwoman of the Democratic Party here in New Hampshire says this debate marks the time that voters here will really start to pay attention to the primary race, and the candidates only have 7 weeks left to make an impression. Heather Cabot, ABC News, Durham, New Hampshire.
Officials in Columbus, Ohio have added another shooting to the list of those from a stretch of highway. And they say a bullet recovered from a van last month is a ballistics match to 5 other such matches. Meanwhile, officials hope cameras installed on part of Highway 270 will help them find out who's behind the string of 15 shootings.
The U.S. military in Afghanistan is confirming a second incident involving civilian casualties. Officials say 6 children died in an attack last Friday in eastern Afghanistan as forces pursued a renegade Afghan commander there. Last Saturday, 9 Afghan children were killed in a separate U.S. assault. Meantime, countries that oppose the war in Iraq will be ineligible for reconstruction contracts worth more than $18 billion. A Pentagon ruling bars France, Germany, and Canada from bidding on the contracts. And in Iraq, there have been continued violent attacks on U.S. forces. ABC's Sonia Crawford has more.
500 American soldiers raided homes in the Iraqi town of Baquba, trying to deal a blow to the insurgency. Helicopters monitored from above as soldiers detained suspects and seized explosives. Each U.S. raid is answered by further attacks, though. This crowd in Fallujah chanted they were sacrificing their blood and souls for Islam after an American helicopter made an emergency landing near Fallujah. Central Command says it took ground fire. The 2 crew members were not hurt. That was not the case at a U.S. military base in the northern town of Tel Afar. American soldiers were hurt when a suicide bomber blew up a car packed with explosives near the front gate. Later, another suicide bomber hit a U.S. Army compound in Husseiniya, near Tikrit. The man reportedly walked into the compound's hospital dressed as if he was wounded. U.S. officials say it's too early to call this a trend.
We'll just have to see. We'll just have to go through the next month or 2 and 3 and see how effective the adjustment in tactics and techniques and procedures that the U.S. military forces are adopting, how effective they are. It's also true that the terrorists are adjusting their tactics.
Iraq's interim government voted to create a war crimes tribunal to prosecute top members of Saddam Hussein's former regime. The first priority, Iraqis on the 55 most wanted list, many who are in U.S. custody. Sonia Crawford, ABC News, Washington.
Now to an important story this morning about your health. The road to stronger bones may just be a bounce away. In fact, Canadian researchers now say that certain ailments as we age can be avoided when young, by one jump at a time. ABC's John McKenzie explains.
In fact, how many decimals in this factor here?
It looks like any other elementary school until the bell. And when it sounds, these sixth graders begin to jump. Not for long, just a few seconds. But scientists say that can be enough to build stronger bones.
Initially, yeah, my first reaction was, oh, come on. Oh, come on. That little bit of time is going to make that big a difference. But they gave us research, and the research says it makes a difference.
Researchers found that some children here were not getting any exercise. But even those who were not getting the right kind of exercise that's best for building bone. Specifically, jumping. Every time the foot hits the ground this way, the skeleton is absorbing a force of about 5 times the child's body weight. That causes the bone to actually bend ever so slightly and triggers the bone's building cells to turn on.
The key is that there's a higher than usual impact.
Professor Heather McKay followed almost 100 students here, kids with similar eating habits and physical activity levels. The only difference was half of them jumped at the bell. Just 5 jumps, 3 times a day. After only 8 months, McKay found those who had jumped had actually built 3% more bone mass than the other children. That could be enough to postpone, perhaps even prevent osteoporosis later in life.
We saw the greatest benefit in these children right here in this region of the body at the hip. When you get older, you're most likely, if you fall, to fracture, either in this portion of the hip here or on the outside.
Today, the Bounce at the Bell program, as it's called, has been introduced in 6 Vancouver schools.
It's fun, you exercise, you get a lot of energy.
And much stronger bones in only seconds a day. John McKenzie, ABC News, Vancouver.
We really do pay attention to the stories that we air here on World News Now, don't we?
We're going to jump during every weather forecast from now on.
Rain and thunderstorms.
Rain and thunderstorms sweeping through much of the east. Possible flooding in Pennsylvania and West Virginia. Heavy rain, too, along the west coast. Whew, this is hard. Above normal temperatures in the northeast and in the southwest, seasonal and warm. Now, forecasts from around the nation and a performance of the Iraqi Symphony at the Kennedy Center.
World News Now weather, brought to you by Roomba Floor Vacuum.
Now, there's a smarter way to vacuum. It goes places you can't. All with the push of a button. It will change the way you clean forever. Roomba Robotic Floor Vac. Available at these fine retailers. If it's down there, we'll get it.
Why buy a flatbed when now you can enjoy any size Craftmatic 3 adjustable bed free? If you ever had a bad night's sleep or felt sore, stiff, back, neck, or shoulder pain, Craftmatic would love to give you an adjustable bed free. Call for this free color catalog and enter our adjustable bed sweepstakes. That's all it takes. Imagine one free call could lead to a lifetime of temporary relief from low back pain, poor circulation, or just poor sleep. Make that free call now, and we'll also include free heat and soothing massage absolutely free. So if you've always wanted an adjustable bed, now here's the opportunity to get yours free. Call for your free color catalog on the adjustable bed that costs 50% less than many quality flatbeds. With free information how to get a Craftmatic adjustable bed now, absolutely free.
Call 1-800-213-9300 for your free Craftmatic. Call 1-800-213-9300. That's 1-800-213-9300. Call now.
Gotta go right now. Gotta go.
Got those strong, sudden urges to go and go? Forced to get up 2 or more times a night? Well, then you may be one of 17 million people with what's called overactive bladder, and you should know it's treatable. So you should go to your phone to learn what you can do about it. Call 1-866-619-3300, and we'll send you free, confidential information. You'll learn about overactive bladder, like what causes those strong, sudden urges, and why it's not normal at any age. You'll get tips to help you go less often, and find out about a proven treatment option. Plus, get questions you really should ask your doctor. Remember, for millions of people, overactive bladder can be treated.
And I don't have to go right now.
So call toll-free 1-866-619-3300 or visit our website today. Come on, get on with your life.
The Supersonics traveled east last night and got plastered by the Nets. Baseball's Ken Griffey Jr. was in New Jersey for the game, and as usual, when the Nets are doing well, Jason Kidd did the setup for Kerry Kittles. The Nets had a very strong third quarter. There's the setup to Kittles, and when Kenyon Martin missed this coming-up shot, Kidd got tough under the board. He eventually nailed it. New Jersey was 12 for 19 from the field in the quarter. They go on to win, score 101-88. Allen Iverson stayed home with a banged-up knee when the 76ers went to Detroit. Aaron McKee filled in quite well. He managed a fallback jumper as the shot clock expired late right here in the fourth. He scored 21 points, and moments later, Detroit's Rip Hamilton stole the ball from Eric Snow. Hamilton then takes it all the way and brought the Pistons to within one. Aminokur could have won it, but McKee blocked his shot. He blocks it right here. With just a second left, the Sixers take the win, 78-76. 4 British men representing their Nepalese hosts have won the World Elephant Polo Championship. Players from 18 nations gathered for the 22nd annual tournament. The sport was originally concocted by Englishmen in a Swiss bar. The rules are similar to horse polo. The sticks are obviously much longer. Also, there's no Zamboni in elephant polo. Halftime cleanup is decidedly low tech. Ew, that's a tough job. Christian Edwards scored the winning goal for the Tiger Tops Tuskers, who won 4-3. A bit of a slower pace, too, when you're dealing with elephant polo.
Yeah, it doesn't look like you're as likely to fall off as you are when you're riding a pony.
And what a bum job, the cleanup job.
I know. Yeah.
A little smelly.
It seems like maybe I've ridden an elephant once when I was in Thailand, though, and I will say that it's a little, how do I say this, firmer than the average.
All right.
Dropping.
Well, there you go. That's sports for this half hour. Coming up next, we'll check out cool toys.
No more dropping discussion.
ABC's World News Now will continue after this from our ABC stations.
What's wrong with my SUV? It was fine last year.
Trust me, Pacifica's better.
Look, I'm telling you, all-wheel drive, heated second-row seats, it's perfect. See?
Oh, look cool, a navigation system so we can find our hotel.
Hotel?
Go well beyond the SUV in a Chrysler Pacifica. Now during the year-end sales drive, well-qualified lessees can lease one for just $339 a month, plus get our 770 powertrain limited warranty.
Hurry to your Chrysler dealer and see how good the best values in America can be.
Save up to 80% by buying Factory Direct. The Jewelry Factory imports their diamonds direct from site holders and manufactures their jewelry direct. The Jewelry Factory has thousands of diamonds, mountings, bracelets, pendants, and earrings, and guarantees the lowest price. The Jewelry Factory's 1-carat platinum bands are $1,400. 1-carat 3-stone bracelets are $249. Diamond studs are $199, and 3-stone pendants are $99. You can't beat our deals. Buy Factory Direct and save. The Jewelry Factory in Hackensack.
Here's a look now at some of the stories ABC News is following in the day ahead. The flu outbreak in Colorado has now claimed the lives of at least 9 children. Flu is also being blamed for the deaths of children in California, Arizona, and Texas. Cameras have now been installed along Highway 270 in Ohio the area where 15 shootings have now been reported since May. A bullet hole in a van discovered in a used car lot is the 6th case with a ballistics match. And Howard Dean says if Democrats are angry about Al Gore's endorsement, they should take it out on Howard Dean, not the former vice president. During last night's New Hampshire debate, Dean's fellow Democratic candidates vowed Gore's support would not be the final word. And those are some of the stories we'll be following in the day ahead.
Okay, let's talk toys now. When it comes to finding great holiday gifts for kids, adults can sometimes be a little bit clueless. That's why so many kids end up getting toys that are so last millennium. For some gift ideas sure to impress even the coolest kids, our gizmo guy, Dick DeBartolo, is here to share some hints. And Dick, we've only got 2 weeks left before Christmas.
I know, and you're talking to a big kid. I love electronics. I have some really neat stuff. This is from Spy Gear, and they're called iLink communicators. Now you get 2 of these, you put them on. They're hard to wear because they're sized down for kids, okay?
You strap this to your belt or something?
This goes on your wrist.
Okay.
Okay, you type a message, you press send.
Yeah.
It goes up to 200 feet away into your friend's eyepiece, and it scrolls across. And it's 200 feet through walls, through doors.
So you send messages to your friends.
And then your message comes up and says, what's the answer to the first question? I don't think you would ever do that, but then I would type an answer and I'd hit send and it would show up scrolling.
So it's very James Bond.
Very James Bond. And the best thing, $35 for the whole kit. For the whole kit, okay?
Takes batteries?
Spy Gear, a little batteries.
Okay.
Spy Gear iLink communicator. This is from Room Gear, the Air Boom Box. Now, I inflated this, but what's great about this, you take the air out, fold it up, throw it in your backpack.
And this can go underwater, this can go to the beach or the bath or anything?
It's for the beach. I don't think it's waterproof. Okay. But see these little marks?
Yeah.
These are circuits. When you push this button, you hear it just went on. We don't get reception in here because we're so deep in the building.
Right.
This is volume up and volume down. This is scanning. That's...
Is that you?
No! And when you press it again, your skin completes the circuit.
That's
amazing. Is that a neat guy? That's about $20.
How does that work? There's nothing inside.
No, just the circuit board is actually carried within the printing.
That's amazing.
Is that neat?
That is very cool. And then you just
take
this out
and it deflated. 20 bucks.
Very cool. 20 bucks.
A PR lady said that black light was coming back. It was very big. You ever play with black light?
You mean like the pens, the invisible ink type
and
of
I
stuff?
said, oh, you know, it's too old hat, it's too... So she did a very funny thing. She sent me a blank letter and a black light. And when I turned on the black light, I could then read her letter. And I was thinking, you know, this still is fun.
Yeah,
so,
I remember that being one of my favorite things when I was younger, was writing the secret notes
so
and
for
everything.
girls, they came out with my ultra secret pen pal stuff kit. It's about $20. You get 2 pads, 2 black lights, the magic pens. So that's a neat gift.
Very cool, and that doesn't seem like that would run you too much.
Not at all, under 20 bucks. Now I'm going to turn this the long way. This is from Playtime, and this is called the Speedies Hummer Speed City. And what you do is, I'm just going to open this part way up and show you that inside, I've turned a little more that way. Do I turn it the right way so you can see the box? I'm going to turn it back this way so that you can see that inside, this opens up to this entire play city, and it comes with these little cars, and there's race tracks, and it's only about $30.
It's kind of like Hot Wheels.
It is, yeah, it is, except it's the little Speedies cars, and that's about $30. That's from Playmates. I'm going to put it down on the floor. Now, Crest spin brushes, I love these as stocking stuffers because they're only about $6. And Crest says...
what kind of kid wants a toothbrush in their stocking?
I'll tell you why, look. Every year they add new things. This year they added the fire truck with the blinking lights.
Okay, that's not bad.
All right, I won you over. Dora the Explorer for girls. That's his little... And they're only $6, and Chris says that kids tend to brush a lot longer, like 38% longer, because it's fun.
I hated brushing my teeth when I was a kid.
I know. Well, they have spin brushes for adults, so it looks like we know what we're getting you for Christmas. Okay,
that's cool. Yeah, I'm a little better now.
Oh, okay. We're going to turn this guy on. Last year, let me turn it back on because it recycled. Okay. Last year, the little Pixar black and white sold millions of units. So now they introduced Pixar Color, and this little guy is like a PDA for kids. You play games. It has a little keyboard on it. You can type. You can color. And what I like about this is you can buy cartridges like Arcade,
Right.
and they click into the top. And then
Right.
kids
This is like a
have,
modern-day Etch-a-Sketch type of thing?
well, it's actually a learning tool, a drawing tool, a little typing tool.
This seems like it could be kind of pricey.
It's $80. It also has sound. We turn the sound down. It also has an earphone jack, so if the kids want to play a lot,
What
not
age
disturb
is
their
this for?
parents. You know, I have no idea, but I played with it, I would say, for a good 90 minutes.
Big kids and little
And little kids, exactly. Now, kids nowadays all have their own cell phones. They have their music, their MP3 players. This is a great idea. The company's name is weird. They call themselves Skull Candy, but the product is called Link. I left it in the box. It's easy to show. It's a set of headphones. There are two jacks. One jack goes into your MP3 player. One jack goes into your telephone.
So that means you got to get the kid the MP3 player too.
Well, the kid's got it. I mean, the kid. Come on, the kid's got it. When your phone
don't even
rings,
have one yet.
you don't. We'll have to get you one. When your phone rings, it lowers the music. It has a built-in microphone, so you carry on the conversation. When you hang up, the music comes back up again. It's only $30. It's called Link from Skull Candy. Now, in television, did you ever play video games when you were a kid?
Absolutely.
Oh, okay. Well, in television had all these old games in the 1980s. And what this company's done now is they've taken 25 games from the 80s, built them into a little console. You don't need any other game platform. This plugs into your TV, and you can play 25 of your old games.
This is for a little bit older kids.
A little bit older kids, and that's under $30.
Fabulous. And,
of course, they say
what Christmas would be
that
complete
this year
without Elmo?
will be Hokey Pokey Elmo.
There's an Elmo for every season.
Yeah, exactly. He dances, but I'll be back with adult toys.
Fabulous.
Okay.
Thank you so much. That was wonderful. Dick, thanks for coming in, and you're
Thanks.
watching World News Now.
Bye.
Is your vitamin C ester C? Ester C supports your immune system, your heart, joints, and eyes. Metabolites in ester C make it different than regular C. Ester C, it's whole body protection.
All these CDs have to go, so we're giving them away. That's right, we've got so many CDs in our warehouse, we're running out of room, so we're giving them away free. These CDs, they do it all. They're top-of-the-line editions of brand-name software. Home Depot, Britannica, Rand McNally, and the American Medical Association, just to name a few. Names you know, names you trust, and you get them free. Video Professor partnered with these companies, and we have thousands of their CDs. But now we desperately need to make room, so call now, and we'll send you a pack of these new CDs free. Just pay the $6.95 shipping, and we'll send you $100 in great name software. What do these CDs do? What don't they do? But try this for starters. Learn secrets of the Home Depot pros, wallpapering, plumbing, carpentry, tile, insulation, and more. Then create your own home on your PC, add walls, carpets, a new addition, and see it in a 3D walkthrough. But that's not all. Create printable maps of anywhere in North America and try restaurants, hotels, and sightseeing stops along the way. Remember, this is free. How about researching almost anything in seconds? History, maps, nature, science, geography, trivia, and more. You get an encyclopedia of knowledge free when you call. Want more? How about free medical help 24 hours a day? Health information, medical emergencies, CPR, drug facts, burns, fractures, cuts, bruises, and essential information for any family. And we're giving it away. It's not priced to sell because there is no price. We'll give you the CDs, you pay for the shipping, and they're yours. It's that easy. What are you waiting for? Pick up the phone to make sure you don't miss out. We need the space, you want the CDs, and you get them for free. Everyone's a winner. And if you call right now, we'll throw in a great $30 typing tutorial CD absolutely free. That makes almost $150 worth of software free with one free call. Don't wait. These CDs will go fast.
To take advantage of this limited time offer and get your free software pack, you must call now. Call 1-800-853-4024.
Roses are red, violets are blue. Splenda is sweet, and so are you.
Almost anywhere you use sugar, you can use Splenda, the no-calorie sweetener that's made from sugar, so it tastes like sugar.
We actually have some of the headlines in, some of the front pages from newspapers around the country. We're going to take a look at them this morning a little earlier than normal. And the Boston Globe, actually, on the front page of the Boston Globe, the story is owner's tour manager indicted in the Rhode Island club fire. This was a story that I actually spent several days covering when I was back up in Boston. Some of the most horrific pictures I've ever seen. And now what's happened, the two owners of the nightclub, along with the tour manager for Great White, the band Great White, have each been charged with 2 counts of manslaughter for each of the 100 deaths. Attorneys for the 3 people who have now been charged have said that the charges should have been placed against the city of West Warwick, because they had been to the club several times to inspect it, allowing concerts to take place at the venue.
And one of the reasons that they were saying that these men were responsible was because some of the insulation that was used for the band actually was flammable. And they said that they were wrong for using that type of insulation.
Okay. Another story that I saw here this morning from the Miami Herald, of course, we've been talking about the debate last night and yesterday's big endorsement by Al Gore of Howard Dean in the race for president. And the headline on the front page of the Miami Herald, the Florida Democrats worry as Gore supports Dean. And I'll read into the first graph here. In Florida, some Democratic leaders say they're worried that nominating Howard Dean, who is staunchly opposed to the Iraq War, risks turning off centrist voters who decide close races. And of course, we can't forget the role that Florida played in the last presidential election. Obviously, Al Gore getting more of a popular vote, but then President Bush being named the winner. They're wondering whether or not this was, in fact, the best way to go for Al Gore in endorsing Howard Dean.
Well, it was interesting. At the debate last night, Ted Koppel asked the 8 other candidates right off the bat, do you think now, with this endorsement from Al Gore, Dean can beat George W. Bush? And none of them raised their hands. They all were not willing to say that with this support that he could beat George Bush, at least not yet. They may change their minds.
You know, typically at this time of the morning we talk with Declan Curry from the BBC. Apparently we're not able to get to him this morning, but we did want to pass along to you that the Guardian newspaper in London. Declan, can you hear us? We have just a few seconds left in this half hour, and we understand the Guardian says you are traditionally dressed in London.
Traditionally built is what they meant. What they meant to say, and they were drawing attention to the fact that suits like mine no longer fit in the middle, and they were teasing me for having to buy a new suit. What they don't know is these suits under the arms, they're all patched.
Well, we think they look great, Declan. That's news for this half hour. We'll be right back.
Hi, I'm Lindsay Wagner. You know, in juggling a full family life and a career, believe me, I know how important it is to get a good night's sleep. Not long ago, I discovered the Sleep Number bed by Select Comfort. It's a wonderful way to get the deep recuperative sleep that we all need. The secret is the unique adjustable air chamber technology. On a Sleep Number bed, you adjust the comfort and firmness to your exact preference, your sleep number. I happen to be a 35. And unlike innerspring mattresses that can create uncomfortable pressure points, the Sleep Number bed contours to the unique curves of your body, providing better support. I highly recommend you call for this free video and brochure. It'll show you how the Sleep Number bed can improve your sleep. And this is the perfect bed for couples because both you and your sleep partner can each adjust the firmness independently to your own sleep number.
I really love it because I'm not locked into a sleep number. I like to be able to adjust it depending on how my body feels every night when I go to bed.
The Sleep Number bed is so comfortable that I really don't want to get out of bed in the morning.
In clinical studies conducted at Stanford and Duke universities, participants fell asleep faster and experienced a better quality of sleep on a Sleep Number bed. It's the only bed I know of that's been clinically proven to improve sleep quality and relieve back pain.
On the Sleep Number bed, when we're laying on our back, the air supports the spine evenly.
I mean, I was having severe back problems. Now I just get a better night's sleep.
Nothing else compares, and a Sleep Number bed costs about the same as a traditional innerspring mattress, yet it's twice as durable. So don't forget to call for this free video and brochure. The results are remarkable, and it's very comfortable.
For your free, no-obligation Sleep Number bed information kit, call 1-800-609-5200. We'll rush you this video, brochure, and price list, plus details about our risk-free 30-night trial. Call 1-800-609-5200, 1-800-609-5200. A Sleep Number bed is the key to a perfect night's sleep. Call now.
Addicted to drugs, a Backstreet Boy goes public. Next Oprah.
It is Wednesday, December 10th. In the news this morning, insisting they still have a shot. 8 Democratic candidates pounce on the frontrunner. More children die as the devastating flu outbreak widens. And a new twist in the Michael Jackson case. Will it shore up his defense?
From ABC News, this is World News This Morning. Now from our world headquarters in New York, here's David Muir.
Good morning. The thumbs up from former Vice President Al Gore put Howard Dean in the crosshairs of his fellow Democrats as they faced off for their final debate of the year. ABC's Heather Cavett reports the other 8 candidates appear to have no intention of throwing in the towel anytime soon.
With New Hampshire voters watching in prime time, the candidates came out swinging, determined to undercut any advantage Howard Dean may have gained from Al Gore's surprise endorsement.
This race is not over until votes have been cast and counted.
We're not going to have any big name come in now and tell us the field should be limited and we can't be heard.
Some turned their attacks on the former vice president, including Senator Joe Lieberman, Gore's running mate in the 2000 race for the White House.
We cared about values. We were interested in cutting taxes for the middle class and working with business to create jobs. Howard Dean, and now Al Gore, I guess, are on the wrong side of each of those issues.
The sniping over endorsements in polls eventually turned to serious difference on American policies in Iraq.
Ted, unless we get the U.S. troops out of there totally, we're never going to see a situation where that war is going to be over. We're going to continue to be attacked.
We deserve leadership that knows how to build real alliances, that respects multilateralism, and that understands that our troops today are at greater risk.
An early exit means either retreat or defeat. Neither one is acceptable, and nobody can provide security for the Iraqi people as they develop their own internal defenses, except for a force under U.S. leadership.
But it was domestic issues, including jobs and health care, that rounded out the candidates' final debate of the year.
This president has lost 3 million jobs. He has given tax cuts to people who make $1 million a year of $112,000. 60% of us got $325. What this election is about is taking back this country for ordinary people.
The chairwoman of the Democratic Party here in New Hampshire says this debate marks the time that voters here will really start to pay attention to the primary race, and the candidates only have 7 weeks left to make an impression. Heather Cavett, ABC News, Durham, New Hampshire.
The U.S. military is now confirming a second incident in which children were mistakenly killed in Afghanistan. Officials say 6 children died in an attack last Friday on a complex in eastern Afghanistan as forces pursued a renegade Afghan commander. The military says there were no indications at the time that non-combatants were there. Last Saturday, 9 Afghan children were killed in a separate U.S. assault. The Pentagon says countries opposed to the Iraq war will be ineligible for reconstruction contracts worth more than $18 billion. The ruling bars nations, including France, Germany, and Canada, from bidding on the contracts. Meanwhile, U.S. troops in Iraq came under fire in a flurry of attacks yesterday. An Army observation helicopter was downed by small arms fire near Fallujah, and more than 60 soldiers were wounded in 2 brazen suicide bombings at the gates of 2 U.S. bases. None of the injuries was considered serious. Taiwan insisted this morning it will not change its plans for a referendum vote next spring, despite a stern warning from President Bush. Mr. Bush met with the premier of China yesterday and presented a united front. Here's ABC's Terry Moran.
President Bush welcomed Chinese Premier Wen Jiabao with all the pomp and ceremony befitting a key U.S. ally, and that is what China has essentially become. It was a rare rebuke by a U.S. president of Taiwan, a key U.S. ally and a real thorn in the side of China. Taiwan's leaders have planned a referendum for next year that would denounce China's military missile buildup in the region. The U.S. sees that referendum as needlessly provocative, and Mr. Bush has issued a stern rebuke.
And the comments and actions made by the leader of Taiwan indicate that he may be willing to make decisions unilaterally that change the status quo, which we oppose.
So the president, who for months has been advocating his commitment to democracy in the Middle East and around the world, is now in the position of telling a democratic government, a key ally, not to hold a referendum, not to ask its own people to vote on a key issue to them. Terry Moran, ABC News, the White House.
Well, as you may know, the flu is sweeping the country, and federal officials say the number of cases hasn't peaked yet. 13 states report widespread infections. Health officials are particularly worried about the growing number of children dying from the flu. 3 more fell victim in Colorado, bringing the total there to 9. Children have also died in California, Arizona, and Texas. Some parents say there was little warning their children were so sick.
He laid down to take a nap and woke up from his nap and he couldn't breathe. And less than 24 hours later, he was gone. Why in 2003 is this happening to me and my child? It's not 1900.
The supply of flu vaccines in some states is running so short that local health officials are now starting to ration it to the groups most at risk. And the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention says it is looking to buy licensed vaccines from Europe in time to be used this flu season. In other news this morning, 3 men charged yesterday in the Rhode Island nightclub fire are due back in court in February now, almost exactly a year after the building burned to the ground. 100 people died when pyrotechnics ignited soundproofing foam inside the club during a performance by the band Great White. The band's tour manager and 2 club owners pleaded not guilty yesterday to involuntary manslaughter. A colorful politician who once ran for president, Illinois Democrat Paul Simon, has died after undergoing heart surgery. The 2-term senator staged an unsuccessful bid for the White House back in 1988. He retired from Congress in 1997, but stayed involved in public life, and just days ago reportedly endorsed Howard Dean for president. Paul Simon was 75 years old. We turn from the news to the weather forecast now, and some heavy winds are expected in Oklahoma today after much of the state was hit by its first major storm of the season. Near whiteout conditions made travel impossible in some places. And the snow will continue in the Great Lakes and parts of the Midwest, Wisconsin and Michigan. In fact, may see half a foot or more. Expect thunderstorms and high winds from the Carolinas to Florida. Very cold in the plains and Midwest, 10 to 20 degrees below normal. Warmer than normal on the East Coast. Most seasonable out west. That's the national outlook. Now here's the weather where you are.
This morning's weather brought to you by Buick. Business news is coming up next. Stay with us.
Go ahead, I'll be right there. Wouldn't it be great if life worked like this parking meter? I could keep putting quarters in and stay here with my family forever. Of course, life doesn't work that way. That's why I bought life insurance from Colonial Penn to help make sure my final expenses won't become my family's problem. And it costs me less than $1/4 a day.
For less than $1/4 a day, just $6.95 a month per unit, Colonial Penn offers guaranteed acceptance life insurance to people ages 50 to 85. These days, funeral costs alone average over $6,000. But now you can get help with no medical exam, no health questions. And the rate of $6.95 a month per unit is guaranteed never to increase. Remember, if you're age 50 to 85, you cannot be turned down for any reason. After the first 2 years, your benefit will never decrease. As long as you pay your premiums, your coverage can never be canceled, and your policy bill's cash value you can borrow against.
Call 1-800-651-2700 to receive free information in the mail. You'll get this handy guide to Social Security absolutely free. That number again is 1-800-651-2700, or visit our website at colonialpenn.com.
The way I see it, $1/4 a day now is an affordable way to make sure my loved ones have help to pay my final expenses.
Remember, for less than $1/4 a day, just $6.95 a month per unit, Colonial Penn offers guaranteed acceptance life insurance to people ages 50 to 85. These days, funeral costs alone average over $6,000. But now you can get help with no medical exam, no health questions.
Call 1-800-651-2700 to receive free information in the mail. That number again is 1-800-651-2700.
Tonight, Trista and Ryan finally tie the knot.